And hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. So in the previous video I said we're going to do an activity or two just to, get this whole object thing concentrated into inside our brain, because remembering objects is at first very difficult. Later on it's super easy, but at the beginning I remembered even I just didn't like objects at all. I hated it. So we're going to practice it. So let's create a new VCL Forms application, and then we can press Ctrl Shift S to save all. We can call it something such as, let's see, dog show, and we can save it as FRM dog show underscore U, AC to copy that, Ctrl V, go P, and then we saved it. Okay, so let's first design our form, because that's the most important part right now. So we're going to need three labels. So label, label, label. We're going to need two edits and one spin edit. We're going to need a rich edit, and we're going to need two buttons. Three buttons. Two bit buttons and one normal button. So bit button, and then just a button. Okay, so let's get started. So first, before we get to doing anything, let's first code the retry, so we don't have to do that later. Already display dot clear, and you can say edt name dot text becomes nothing, and then edt weight dot text becomes nothing. You can run this just to make sure it works. Enter something random. Nip, retry, clears everything, that's good. Okay. Now, first thing we want to do probably is, let's first talk about what the program should do before we create the object. Now, basically, when the user wants to insert their dog into this dog context, the dog show, so you have to pay a specific fee depending on the dog. So small dogs would be less than 5 kilograms in weight, while medium dogs would be less than 10 kilograms in weight, and big dogs would be more than 10 kilograms in weight. So basically, and the registration fee would basically be something like the age of the dog times its weight. So that's the amount I have to pay on the end of the day. So that's basically what's going to happen. We're going to enter the dog's name, enter the age, enter the weight, and it's going to calculate the cost, and it's also going to display it, and it's going to tell you, hey, the dog has been entered and whatnot. So let's create an object. File, new, unit. Save this unit as obj dog underscore u, and then we can go right under interface, we can say type is t dog, which is of type or from class t object, and we can add a private and public section. Press Ctrl E, press Ctrl S, and there we have our basic object. Now all we need to do is create a constructor, add our variables, and create our methods. So what do we want from the user to create this dog object? Because this is going to be an object revolving the dog that's going to be given to us. So let's see. We want to get the dog's name, the dog's age, and its weight. That's what we inserted. And this will be details about this dog object, because remember, an object is literally just an object. I am an object, you are an object, your computer is an object. Everything is an object. So whether it is a game controller, it's an object and it has the attributes buttons, so the X button, the Y button, or your TV remote. It's also an object with a bunch of button attributes. Your phone, it's an object with a screen and stuff like that. It's all objects. So we should think of it. So the dog has a name. So the object's name would be fName, which it would be a string. We will need its age, so fAge, which would be an integer. We will need its weight, so fWeight, which will be a real value because it can be 1.2 or whatnot. Then we need to create our constructor to actually get this information from the user. So constructor, there we go. And we are going to call it create. You can call it something else if you don't want to call it create. I just feel create is the best way to explain it, because you're creating the object. You're making it, you're developing it. So create is the best word in my opinion. Then you can go isName, which is a string. And we also want the IAge, which is an integer. And we want our weight, which is a real from the user. Then we want to create a bunch of other functions. We want to create 3 getter functions. So we want to create the function, or let's go here and say getters slash accessors. And then we want to say function get name, which return a string. I should create a string variable type, and it should just be a string because I always say string. Function get age, which would return integer. Function get weight, which will return a real. And then we need auxiliary functions. You can put your own setter functions in here if you want. So just for sure, let's put a setter function here. Setters slash mutators procedure, because remember, setters don't return anything, they just do something. And let's say set age, and it will take an IAge integer. Oh gosh, integer. Okay, just so we have one. And then we need 2 auxiliary functions. So first we need to determine what category the dog falls. Is it big, small, medium? What type of dog is it? We can't just say, hey, this dog is a dog. You know, we want to know if it's a big dog, is it a small dog? So let's figure out. So you can go and say function and determine category, and this will just return a string. Function, and we can say calculate fee, which is a real, and then function to string, which is a string. So let's press Ctrl D, press Ctrl S, Ctrl Shift C to create everything. Let's first work on the object create method, the constructor. Remember these words. So let's say if name becomes isName, and we created a set age, yeah, right there. So we can say if age, or we can actually just say set age, and you say age if that is how you want to do it. You can use it here, it doesn't really matter as long as you set it. And we can say our weight that is equal to our weight, no, f weight, there we go. And that's all we need to do in the constructor. And let's go here to set age, and this should basically say if age becomes age. A little bit of repetitive coding here that's unnecessary, but that doesn't matter right now. We're learning here. So let's do the easy things first. Let's say get age, which is result if age, get name, which is result if name, get weight, result if weight. And then we have our toString, which we're going to do later. So let's determine the category the dog falls in. If the dog is 5 kilograms or less, then it should be a small dog. So we're going to return string here, as you can see right here. So let's say if I just actually made it, yeah, wait, never mind. If get weight is less than 5, then begin result, and we can say small dog. Then you can go here, we can say else if get weight, no, get weight is less than 10. Should actually make this less or equal to 10. Begin result becomes medium. Medium, is that how you spell medium? I think it is. Medium sized dog, because of course you can't say medium dog. And then we can just say else if it's not one of the two. We can say result becomes, and we can go in here and say large dog. I don't know. Okay. So what do you say? If it's less than 5, then it's a small dog. If it's more than 4, which is if it's 5, or anywhere from 5 to 10, then it is a medium-sized dog. But if it's under 5, it's less than 5, then it's a small dog. Don't get confused here. Otherwise, if it's bigger than 10, it's probably a large dog, you know. So let's get started with the rest of the things. Let's do the calculate fee. So the fee is calculated by timesing the age of the weight. So you can just say result becomes get age times get weight. It becomes, there, we're done. Now we need to be able to display this object. So like we can use this toString now. Let's go variable and create an s out, which is string. I wanted to say sting again. Okay, so then we can just say okay, now we have created everything in here that's necessary to be created. Let's go back here and go on enter dog. The first thing we want to do is we want to get the dog. So we want to go here to private and say object dog, which is a oh wait, we first have to import it before I forget. Object dog underscore u, and let's try again. T-dog. Okay, now that we have basically created a dog variable, dog object, we can actually create that object. So you can say object dog, oh gosh, I spelled dog with a capital O. Object dog becomes T-dog dot create, because we first have to create it. And in this would be everything we need from the user. So we can go and we can just insert all of these in here. Is name, age, or weight. Okay, so we just created the dog object. Now we want to display data into the reach of it. So first let's go redisplay.clear to clear the lines. And we will say redisplay.lines.add, and we want to add the text dog show show, and just add a hash 13 to give us an extra line. Redisplay.lines.add, and then we can display what was in here. So object dog dot toString. As easy as that, we just displayed everything we needed. And then we can just go redisplay.lines.add. And I didn't include this into the object dog.toString because I wanted to show you guys how to use it outside, because you guys might have forgotten or might not understand completely. So of course we gotta do this like this. So we say fee, and we can say the fee is #9. I don't know if you might need another #9, but let's go and say plus and object dog, or more like format float, or 0.00 or $0.00, whatever floats your boat. It's the object dog dot calculate fee. And now if we were to run this, let's say our dog's name is Harold, and it's 4 years old, and it weighs 5 kilograms, so it should be a medium dog. Dog show. Hey, Harold has been registered. It's a medium-sized dog. And you just maybe go here and just remove this hashtag 13 because that's unnecessary. And here we can just add another #9. And if we close this and just run it again. Okay, so then we can say Carly is the dog's name. It weighs 17, or it's, oh damn, almost says it. It is 8 years old and it weighs 18 kilograms. Enter the dog show Carly has been registered. Category, it's a large dog. And fee, and here's the fee we have to pay. Let's go over the code for in case you don't quite understand what's going on. So first thing we have is we have our design. So let's first go over the design. Basically just gets the dog name, age, and weight, and it displays everything. Go to enter dog. It says, hey, get the name, age, and weight, and put in these variables. Then it says, hey, create the object dog, the dog object, because we need it now. So this is going to say, okay, let's go to the object.create. Let's see, to object.create. Let's see, oh, here's the create. Let's find it. Oh, okay, so it does exist. It sets the if name equal to whatever we put in here, its name. And as you can see, it takes in its name and it makes if name, which is right up here, if name, equal to is name. And in here, it uses set age, which is exactly the same thing as saying if age is equal to I age. See, if age is equal to I age. And then R weight becomes, or if weight becomes R weight. Okay, cool. Now clear the display, please. Says, okay, so this is the dog show. Now display the dog object to string function. So display the string. So it's going to check out, does it have two string? Yes, it does. Okay, let's go down, 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 down. Here's the two string. Okay, get name. Oh, what's get name? If we go up to get name, it says it's just f name. It is literally just this variable right here, f name. It just gets the name. That's why it's called a getter. That's all it does. It just returns the name. It says has been registered. Then s out becomes s out because you're just going to say s out becomes. Then it's going to rewrite s out. We don't want to rewrite it. We want to add to it. And then category, it says determine category. Well, ooh, determine category. Let's see. Determine category. Here's determine category. Okay, so if the dog's weight is less than 5, then it should become a small dog. If the dog's weight is less than 10, but bigger than 4, then it should become medium sized. Otherwise, it's probably bigger than 10, so then it could just become a large dog. So, okay, interesting. So then it determines the category and then it displays the output. And then we could have put this inside of s out as well, but I want to show you can do it here too. Just s out or toString makes it so much easier, so much faster, so much smoother. So now if we were to go here and it says like object dot calculate fee, does that exist? Does that function actually exist? Calculate fee, it does exist. Okay, so calculate fee and it just returns the age and weight. So basically it's just an entity. You just created a dog entity. You just created a living, you can say living with quotation marks, living object. So then we can also do something such as object dog.free now. And this will free the object from memory. It will clear it. So now the PC can run quickly again. Because we've used the object and we're not going to use it again. We don't need to use it again. So we can say Haba. It is a 2-year-old dog and it weighs 3 kilograms. Enter the dog. And there it goes. It entered the dog, and it not only did it enter the dog, but it also removed the dog object even after it created it. And then we can just say retry, want to clear everything and close. We want to close anything. And that is basically all I wanted to talk to you about today. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed and see you all in the next video.